Welcome to Top 5 Saga channel, discovering the top 5 in every category. 5 horror facts about the Titanic. The Omen of the Titan. 14 years before the Titanic disaster, a novel titled Futility, later retitled The Wreck of the Titan, was published. The book eerily predicted the sinking of a massive, unsinkable ship named Titan on its maiden voyage after hitting an iceberg. The similarities between the fictional Titan and the real Titanic, including the size, lack of lifeboats, and the route, have fueled theories about premonitions and omens surrounding the disaster. The ghost ship of the North Atlantic. The Titanic was not alone in its tragic end. After the ship sank, there were numerous reports of ghostly apparitions and phantom ships in the North Atlantic where the disaster occurred. Some survivors and rescuers claimed to have seen the ghostly outline of the Titanic still floating in the area days after it had sunk, adding to the eerie atmosphere of the tragedy. The deadly lifeboat shortage. One of the most chilling aspects of the Titanic disaster was the insufficient number of lifeboats on board. The ship carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for just over half of the passengers and crew. As a result, over 1,500 people perished in the freezing waters of the North Atlantic. The horror of watching the lifeboats leave half empty, knowing there weren't enough to save everyone, is a tragic and haunting aspect of the disaster. The curse of the Egyptian mummy. A long-standing legend claims that a cursed Egyptian mummy was being transported on the Titanic, and that this ancient artifact brought doom to the ship. While there is no historical evidence to support the presence of a mummy on board, the story has persisted and added to the eerie folklore surrounding the Titanic's sinking, suggesting that supernatural forces might have been at play. The freezing waters of death. The icy waters of the North Atlantic were a death sentence for many of the Titanic's passengers. The water temperature was below freezing, and those who ended up in the ocean had little chance of survival. Hypothermia set in within minutes, causing hundreds of people to lose consciousness and drown. The sight and sounds of so many people struggling and succumbing to the cold is one of the most horrifying aspects of the Titanic disaster. Like, share, and subscribe. Top 5 Saga channel.